Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of Cats and Comics and Rock and Roll. With me today is another wonderful kitten from Perchance Rescue. This is Little Blisslet, and she is a very rare orange girl cat. So there's lots of #1 comics to mention this week and a new storyline in a fave book. First up, Constantine the Hellblazer, #1. Like many of you, I was burned by the new 52 Constantine. Sorely disappointed, so I was hesitant about this new iteration. But folks with good taste on Twitter and James at Isotope Comics says it's fab, so I gave it a shot. There are definitely grand ideas here. Constantine is not a particularly nice guy, but he has a ghostly entourage keeping him company. He runs afoul of a demon and does his con man bid, and it all seems settled. But of course it's not. The art is a little quirky for my tastes, but that's a style thing, and I am interested to see where the story goes. Black Canary #1 is a completely different book. In it, Canary, now known as Dee Dee, fronts a rock and roll band, but violence from her past, as well as a healthy dose of standing up to evil when she sees it, could get in the way of her singing career. Okay, and Black Canary, she of the sonic scream power as the front of a rock band. How cool is that? I am loving this trend of female kick-ass musicians in comics. It is so very Joan Jett inspired. Like the Mary Janes and Spider-Gwen. I figure they sound like L7 mixed in with the Dolly Rots. Not sure what Black Canary the band sound like yet, but I'm thinking maybe Sonic Youth? Yeah, Sonic Youth? Anyway, I dig this book. I've loved the characters since the '70s, so I can't wait to see where this goes. I had high hopes for Prez #1. I appreciated the gender flip of having Prez as a teenage girl and had hoped for a bit of satire in with the fun. But it seemed that the satire wasn't satirical enough, in that it's just kind of the sad state of how things are. And honestly, there's enough of that now in reality. Sigh. On the other end, there's Lazarus #17. Lazarus is one of the top titles I like to recommend. It can be decidedly bleak and grim, but it's done with heart and a comprehension of the gravity of the subject matter. Quick recap. For those unfamiliar, Lazarus takes place in the future, where the world is openly run by corporate families and everyone else is either a serf or waste. A Lazarus is a genetically enhanced bodyguard for a family, and Forever Carlisle is her family's. But despite lifelong conditioning, Forever questions some of the choices of her family and some of the duties she must perform in her position. The rest of the family has a Borgia-esque dynamic, and Forever is often caught in the middle. A new storyline begins in issue 17 as the Carlisle family begins war with another ruling faction. I highly recommend getting the collections of the previous storylines and getting caught up on this amazing book that is both character and story driven. Next week, a new book by Andrew Vax, new comics, and more kittens. Yay! Say goodnight, little Blisslet. Good night. Good night.